I'm back again with another video because, someone asked for a, they call this a weapon comparison. I'll compare the Homa, the Jade Spear, with Favonius. We have the Favonius Lance, Diamond Tree, ignore that. We have level 80 Crescent Pike. I do have the resources for some reason, but I'll keep it there. And the Star Glitter. I can't really compare Dragon's Bane, but it's Dragon's Bane. And Dragon's Spine, I don't really have it leveled up, and I don't have the resources to. Obviously there's a 3-star weapons, but we don't look at that. I'm no content creator. We'll see what we can get. Alright, so stats wise, we are going to use this set of artifacts. Not really any set bonus, because I haven't farmed them yet, and I'm not that lucky. And this is the stats with Homa right now. 63, 172, 122 recharge, 58.3 because it's a physical goblet. I didn't mention this before. Aside from my talents being 777, I actually farm a bit of ballad earlier, so now it's the multipliers for the M1 are like this. E and the burst is just kind of the same as usual. And I also forgot to mention that I do have Constellation 1. So it's that every time Rosaria crits, her attack speed increases by like 10%. Normal attack damage increases by 10%. So if you do a really high crit rate build, you are going to benefit from a Constellation. I do want to aim for like really high constellations for my Rosaria because it does look pretty nice, especially C2. Yeah, let's begin. So let's see. Honestly, I think the Homa is like the strongest spear. Also, in that video, I kind of made a mistake of doing this. Using this with the buff for comparison, because it kind of buffs your damage and your attack speed. So instead I'll just use the very first Contending Tides event, but we'll do an extreme level. So we got the Cryo Resonance right now. I'll just quickly do a stat showcase every time I swap weapon, and I'll try to make it quick. So we got Homa, 20k HP, 2300 attack, all this mastery, 63, 172, 122 recharge, 58.3 physical. Okay. Contending Tides, hardest. I'll just try to point out. I'll get out of the circle so that I don't skew my own number. We've got the Cryo Resonance, so my crit should be like, I believe, yeah, this is with the Rosaria backstab buff on the Ravaging Confession. If you do Cryo Resonance, you can get 15% against enemies affected by Cryo, so I have like 90% crit rate right now. You can kind of see the numbers. Yeah, the burst summoning is like 6.2k. Burst pulse is like 5.4 crit. The E is like 2.4k plus another 5k. It's like 2.5, 5.5k. Let me quickly test. E again, 2.4, 5.6. Yep. See those numbers? Oh no! Oh shit! Oh okay, never mind. I need a shield. Okay. So M1 wise, you're seeing like some good numbers. 3k, 4k, 5.5, 3k, 4. It's looking pretty good so far, to be honest. Yeah, burst is also not bad. As I mentioned before, Zarya is kinda... she's not like a big PP damage or like big burst kind of user. She's more of like this physical DPS over time kind of person. So I'll just do a bit more damage just for comparison. Just try to get her ult back again. Let's see for comparison. Get that crit up. And burst. That's 6.2k, the burst should be at 5.4. My burst is currently level like 7 right now. Yeah, that's Homa. So we'll just abandon this quickly. Swap to a level 90 Jade Spear. Do you know that I can't really test Skyward Prides on these weapons because I don't have a level up. Maybe I can compare in the future, but I probably won't bother. So Jade Spear, a crit rate buff. If you compare to Homa, right? Homa is just a broken weapon, and it's such a best in slot for Hu Tao because it's a 5-star weapon, high base attack, and the crit damage is basically equivalent to a crit damage circlet. HP increase and you get the attack bonus, which is really nice. Obviously, I'll never benefit from the less than 50% HP because I'm not Hu Tao, but that be that. So Jade Spear, we got crit rate for substat, higher base attack, and we got these 7 stacks of some attack buff. And of course at max buff you get 12% damage bonus. However, my stats are a bit lower. It's HP, about the same attack, it can be more. 85, essentially I can just crit all the time. yeah, hope y'all having fun with Rosaria so far. I've been playing a bunch of meta characters, and honestly, it just gets kind of boring playing with Diluc, Songling, Ganyu once in a while. I know there's a waifu material kind of stuff, but it's just something about 4 stars that I just find inexplicably fun. Anyways, back to the Rosaria show. So M1 wise, yeah, it's actually not bad. We have note that we do have 7 stacks right now. I believe the damage is like a little bit lower than Homa, simply because I lose out on like 66% crit damage. Yeah, M1 is like ranging from, let's say, about 2k, 3k. Let's see what damage I'm. Yeah, it's like a couple hundred damage lower. I think Homa is still arguably the best. And if we do the E, that's 2.2, 5.1. Yeah, it lost like 200, 300 damage. Then the burst would be 3.9k, 5.7. Oh, that's actually high. That's interesting. Oh wait, no, the burst is weak. That's like 4.9k. Let me just do this one more round. Backstab. Yeah, it is like a couple hundred damage lower, but it's about the same. I still think Homa's better. Yeah, just now it was like 6k or something. This one's like... Previously Homa was like 5.4k, this one's like about 5k. So that's a rough damage comparison. Can this guy stop spinning at me? So Jade Spear, I guess I would say would be the second best. You know, this is assuming 5-star weapons. And now for the real comparison. So y'all want to know before your 3-star or 4-star spears compare. Can't test 3 stars, but I can test what I have. So we do have the Dragon Spine Spear. Apparently that's her best. Apparently that's her signature weapon, but I don't think it's all that great. Well, test the level 80 Pike. I think her physical damage is probably gonna be more, but I did do some testing beforehand, and honestly, it's about the same. Obviously, 5-star spears are still better. Yeah, that's 1.5, 3.5. That's way lower. Usually, the 5-star spears would do like 2k or something. 2.6, 3.9. Yeah, oh my god, that's like 60%. That's like almost half of what the 5-star spears can do. Physical wise, I probably have to do a level 90. I honestly can't be so sure. Oh, I need some help. I think it can be better if I have the right set, but make sure that do realize that I'm trying to compare this with the same artifact sets without changing. Pure weapon. While the 5-star weapons are like level 90, this... Yeah, the damage is very much low. It's alright, honestly. I don't really agree. Crescent Pike is... the thing about physical is it's nice to have, but I feel like you're limiting your own capabilities or something. Unless you're Razor, but I still don't agree. Anyways, I'm not sure if I show the stats. I'll actually show the stats quickly with Crescent. Let me make sure the crit is right. Yeah, crit is right. HP 1900 attack. Physical damage bonus is 89, so 58. 63, 106 without any buffs. There's the passive, but it's eh. And we got the Favonius line. Yeah, it's the same base, I believe. Let me check. Yeah, same base, it's just went for Garen. Got this much ER, much attack. I don't think the damage should be any difference, but because if you want to go for like a... I'd say a support Rosaria, to be honest. Before I go on to launch, actually. It's like... damage wise, it doesn't have the physical buff. But what you can do is do this, then just I'm gonna play Bandit now. Wow, look at all that burst. And if you press E, I think the Favonius proc is really good. And since it's Rosaria, Favonius I think would be the best in slot for support Rosaria. Since your E gives cryo particles and Favonius can proc just to give you more energy. Yep, so be back. So I press E and use this. Stay on the field for a bit. Favonius proc. My ults should be almost, yeah, it's already back. Essentially off cooldown in that sense. That's assuming you play like a swap comp or something. Gosh, I need this, then you can just swap off to, I don't know, Ganyu or something, haha. Well, that's enough of that. And I guess for the last weapon that I have, Prototype Starglitter, it actually has more ER compared to the Favonius, but it has a lower base damage. It does have the passive, which increases M1 and charge attack by 8%. Well, of course, if you use a skill, I think it would be good for Rosaria, because I believe her cooldown for her E is actually 6 seconds. That's actually faster than Kaching, and right behind like a level 1 Bennett. So stats, you can see I lose like 100 attack, HP is about the same. My ER is way higher, previously I think it was at 1. But yeah, just enough with doing Starglitter, and we'll see how the damage is for quotation marks free to play weapon. It's... I have to use B to activate the buff. Honestly? It's alright. I don't have the right set, so the stats, if we ignore set buff, this is the kind of like a peak Rosaria in that. Let's see, we can activate 2 stacks. I guess the build playstyle, if you want to go for Starglitter, would be like a main DPS that spams E, because I think you can probably get like consistently buff. Yeah, damage wise is die. I'll just give you guys a bit of swinging. Sorry, I'm being quite used to this. God damn, Rosaria is such a... Hope you guys are having some luck pulling on banners. Maybe get C1. I would say C1 or C2 Rosaria, because that's kind of what I'm aiming for if I want to go for like an overall DPS. Okay, close and bang. Yeah, guess I'll just keep this video up in public, and hope you guys have a good day. Wishing for not Tartaglia. Yep, that's definitely what we're going for. My honest thoughts about all the weapons I compare. No doubt, I would say Homa is by far the best, and Jade Spear follows very closely behind. But you only lose out like couple hundred damage, just a little bit. Skyward Spine, I reckon, I can't test this, but I reckon it would be a third, and some of the YouTubers can probably do a comparison for that. Favonius Spear is good if you want to go for a support Rosaria, because her capabilities, her E gives a lot of cryo particles, and you can recharge really fast. If you want to go for like a Wu Tao support build or whatever cryo support build that you want to go for, it'll be interesting to see people. In terms of physical build, Crescent Pike is definitely better, or just pure physical, but honestly, I don't really like it all that much. The passive is kind of meh. I would say Prototype Starglitter may be a bit better, but it's hard for me to tell the difference. But I do know Pike is, if you want to go for pure physical, I would recommend Pike. But if you want to go for like a mixed build, I definitely would go for Starglitter. And support, you can either do 5 lands, and if you have the Skyward Spine, if you're lucky enough, you can probably do that as like maybe a main DPS or like a support. And if you're lucky enough to get Homa and Jade Spear, obviously you use those if you want to go main DPS. Dragon's Bane I don't recommend for obvious reasons. Low base, EM doesn't work all that well. Can't really test Dragon's Spine Spear, though I do know the trial runs does have Dragon's Spine Spear, and I think the damage is alright. Despite it being made for Rosaria, it's honestly it's like there are other spears like we don't look at that. If you want slimes, sure, but realistically if you don't have any other of these 4-star weapons, I know there's the Leeway Spear. I don't think it's that great because she's not a Leeway character, but maybe you'll benefit of it if you have 4 parties. White Tassel, as usual, if you have really nothing else. So if I were to give a ranking, I would say Homa would be the best, Jade Spear close behind, Skyward Spear may be probably the third best for 5-star. Support would be Favonius. For DPS, I would say Star Glitter and then Pike. I don't think Pike works as well. I don't really like Pike personally. I've never really built physical, but I don't really know about that. So yeah, I've been talking a bit too much. I'll have a great day.